Okay, I'm going to go over that a second time just to make sure you understand why we're doing what we're doing. You got to make sure you're paying attention to that, because if you just copy the formula and you don't understand why, it's going to be real hard to do these two here for the 3 and the 4. So we're going to start here, and I'm going to go over it again. We start with an if statement, equals if. I say if their grade is greater than or equal to the 3.5 right there. In that case, I want to put in the words above proficient. Otherwise, I want nothing there. And for nothing, we have 2 double quotes. I lock in the 3 and the 2. You'll notice that they changed numbers because I added a row up there. But don't worry about it. As long as you know what we're doing, you'll be okay. So I put in the $sign there and the $sign there. That locks it in and makes sure it stays in these 2 cells and that they don't follow down as we copy and paste this. So now I'm going to copy and paste it again, and it shouldn't change anything. There we go. Okay, now I want proficient in here if it's greater than or equal to 3 but less than 3.5. So it has to be, both things have to be true. Unlike the or here, where either one or the other has to be true, in this case I want them both to be true. So I start with an if, and this time I'm going to type in the word and, because they both have to be true. So if this is greater than or equal to 3, and it also has to be, that same thing, has to be less than 3.5, in parentheses, because I have to close my and statement, comma. In that case, I want it to say proficient. Otherwise, nothing with the 2 double quotes, and enter. And because that's a 3.4, it's between 3 and 3.5, it says proficient. Now, I got to lock things in because I don't want them to follow as I copy and paste downward and to the right. So I'm looking at this, and I start with the F5 right here. That's in this column. I want it to stay in the F column. I want it to go down 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but I want it to stay in the F column, so I am going to put the $sign in front of the F. Then I go to K3, and that is right here, K3. That information goes across. I don't want it to go down. I want it to stay in the 3rd row, so I'm going to lock in the 3. Again, the F5, I want it to F to lock in. J3 again, or J3 this time, I want it to lock in because I want it to stay on the 3. All that information is in the row, so I want the row number locked in. Same with the K2. That's this proficient. I want it to go across, not down, so I want to lock in the 2. And I hit enter. Now I can copy and paste that. And you'll see that it says proficient here. And it doesn't fit in the box, in the cell itself. And I can fix that if I want to. Make it look better. I just make it smaller font. Let's go to 10. Nope, 10 doesn't work. Let's try 8. 8 still doesn't work for approaching proficient, but I'm going to leave it right there because this isn't the part that matters. What we see over here is going to matter, but here doesn't. Okay, so now I have it filled in. Anybody who's proficient, it says proficient in this area. If you're below proficient, it says it here. And now I want these to come over here and show up here. Well, it changes which column it's in, so I can't just pick a column and say that's what it's in. And that's why I put the double quotes to put nothing in there, because we're actually going to put everything in all four boxes, all four cells into that cell. But since that has nothing, and that has nothing, and that has nothing, the only thing that's going to show up is proficient. Okay, so I'm going to hit equals, and I'm going to click on the first box because I want that box to go in there. Now, they're not numbers, so I can't use add, but I do want to put them together, so I'm going to use and. Whenever it's text and not numbers, we use and. Then I'm going to click on this one, then I'm going to go and. Then I'm going to click on that one and go and click on the last one. And so here, my formula up here says it's going to put everything in J5 and K5 and L5 and M5 all together in that one cell. So now it says proficient. I copy and paste it all the way down. You'll see that it says proficient below proficient or whatever it is over here. I am now I do want them to read easily, so I'm going to make it smaller. And it still doesn't work, so I'm going to wrap text. We've done that. That's that button right there. And there, now it looks nice and neat, and you can see what it's saying. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is color coordinate these. So we're going to do with the usual PBG, red, yellow, green, and blue. So below is red, approaching is yellow, proficient is green, above proficient is blue. So I'm going to highlight the whole thing again. And I'm going to go back to conditional formatting. I'm going to say if highlighted cell rules go to equal to, this time I'm going to click in the words above proficient, and it already locks them in for me, so I don't have to worry about that. If that is true, then my custom format is going to be, I'm going to have white font, because this time I want the words to show. And the fill is going to be the blue. Click OK twice. And there we go. All the above proficients are blue. Now I go conditional formatting, equal to, I click on proficient. Go over to custom format, pick green for fill, go over to font, make it white, click OK, and OK. There we go. Now we have to do approaching proficient, so highlight cells rules, equal to, click on approaching proficient. These are going to be yellow. So I'm going to go to custom format. I'm going to leave the font black because it looks better with the yellow. Click on yellow. Okay, okay, there we go. And last one, conditional highlighted cell rules, equal to, click on below proficient, custom format, I'm going to go fill it in red. I want the font to be white so we can see it. Click OK a couple of times, and there we go. That's all done. Now, for the assignment, I'm going to, first of all, make this so we can see more stuff. So I'm going to go to Zoom. I'm going to go to 50%. Okay, so now for the assignment, this is the actual assessment here, where you're going to recreate, you're going to fill this in just like this one over here, except instead of having the words, you're going to have their grade show up over here. Okay, so it's going to look just like this, except that instead of proficient showing up right here, you're going to have 3.4 show up right here. So to do that, it's going to be real similar. The formulas are almost identical. Really, the only difference is this part right here, because instead of putting in this, putting in that J2 tells you to put above proficient in there, you're going to have it put the 3.4 in there. Okay, now don't copy it letter for letter, number for number, because it is different letters and numbers. You have to think about what you're doing. It's this compared to that. And with these, it's the same thing again. The only real difference is this. Instead of having proficient or approaching proficient or below proficient show up, you actually want the numbers here to show up. You're going to have to think about what you're freezing, what you're locking in, or as we call, it's called making absolute, because you want it, instead of going across, you actually want it to go down. So it's not going to be the number that you lock in, it's going to be the letter. Okay, and just look at these formulas and think about, watch the video, try to understand why we're doing what we're doing, and you should be able to do these over here. Under citizenship, this, I want their citizenship to show up underneath them. So in here, if this person's a 3, I want a 3 to show up in this one, otherwise I want it to be empty. Just like the other one. This is a lot easier. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of hint because it's a set, it's for the 4, but all you need is an if statement, because there's nothing between 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. It's, you know, citizenship is either a 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. That's it.